aspects. And maybe I should just start off, I'll paraphrase a letter that Lowell McAdam, the CEO of Verizon Wireless, just sent to the New York Times. So in the 26 countries in the OECD, Americans use the most wireless minutes, about 4 times more minutes than the average European consumer. We pay 10 cents a minute on average less. 94% of Americans have access to 4 wireless carriers or more. According to a U.S. government accountability office study, 84% of Americans are actually satisfied with their wireless service. So I think we're actually doing okay, and I also think, if we look at the kinds of things that are coming out now, in terms of mobile data, in terms of mobile TV, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. In terms of device, look, where we are right now is the epicenter of a lot of development in high-level operating systems for mobile devices, and also services for mobile devices. So, that's, I think, a pretty good sign that we're leading. Now, one of the things that we are leading in is lawyers who forced me to put this up. The rest of the world seems to be catching up, though, based off of some of our recent experiences. So, anyways, what's going on, though, is really, I'd say, a kind of a perfect storm of things coming together. I've come up here in the past, and we've had these big arguments. Is Wi-Fi going to disrupt cellular? Is the phone going to disrupt the PC? All these things are kind of happening, but they're happening in a way that's actually become very complementary. And so we get this perfect storm, and what's happened out of all of this coming together with the cost of devices coming down, performance going up, with applications coming out of the cloud, with these high-speed networks coming up, is you're actually having this sort of struggle about who's going to control what and who's going to serve the customer in what way. Is it going to be the semi-vertically integrated device manufacturers, the Apples, the RIMs, the Nokias of the world? Is it going to be the Webcos, the Googles, the Microsofts of the world? Is it going to be the network operators, the Verizons, the AT&Ts, the Vodafone, and so forth? There's going to be an interesting time seeing how all this stuff sorts out. But what's going on is, consumers are adopting. They've clearly adopted cellular across the world, but they're also clearly adopting the 3G technologies. And in fact, next year, because the 2G has been declining as 3G has been growing, we think by unit numbers, 3G will actually pass 2G next year. By revenue numbers, it's already passed long ago because the 2G phones are much lower-end phones. So that's happening. And also what's happening on the technology side is that we're seeing this leapfrogging effect of the carriers trying to compete against each other, rolling out faster and faster and faster technologies. We just have been rolling out 21 megabit per second systems in Australia. I think Rogers in Canada just announced their system. So this stuff's happening. You're seeing operators, China Telecom, launch their EVDO Rev A system, and then they're going to Rev B. And I know that's all alphabet soup, but the point is the data rates are continuing to go up, and then we're looking out towards 4G, and it may be that the first deployments of the 4G system is going to be Verizon's LTE launch is coming up in the next year or so. So I think the United States is doing pretty well there as well. But this really is a global thing, and so if you look worldwide, the operators are showing very strong growth in their data revenues, and you can look at the numbers. They are comparable around the world. And I'd even argue, in some cases, the U.S. is one of the strongest places around the world in terms of data revenues. So there's no question that that's happening. Okay, so the networks are moving along, the investments are being made, money's being made there. What's going on the device side? Well, the device it's a portable device. So one of the key things that's going on is we're focusing a lot on power. The question was, where are the investments being made? Reducing the screen power is critically important because you're looking at the phone now more than you're holding it up to your ear, so we've been making investments in that. I think this is a real key area, and that's going to change a lot when you get now not only the processor is very low power, but also the screen's very low power. And now we're talking about things like smart books based off of the Snapdragon platform, where essentially you're going to be running a smartphone on a laptop-sized battery. So the thing is going to last for a very long time with a great connection into the network, great browsing experience. And if you look at what we're doing on the side of processing power, these are single core going up to dual core processors that are going to be in your hand, in your pocket, and they're running at 500 milliwatts instead of 5 watts. So very, very power efficient thing. And the thing that you get out of this, and it's something that's surprising, by the way, and so you'll have to see it to believe it, but your sense is probably that the network is slowing down your internet browsing experience. Turns out that actually when you get enough compute power and you can render quickly, the browser comes up very quickly. It's actually not the network so much, it's much more being compute bound on the device. So this is going to make a huge difference in people's experience. The other thing that's happening is we're getting a lot of new kinds of devices. I mean, people know all about the Kindle, but the thing that's really cool about the Kindle is it's a different kind of business model. It's a wireless device that didn't come with a subscription. People pay for the wireless service while they're buying their books. And so that's a pretty interesting new business model. And a great combination of the internet and wireless, by the way. And this is another interesting combination of the internet and wireless. Inc. did this phone that's a social networking phone. It won the best device in the Global Mobile Awards. That's the GSM's big conference. But it has another business model that's interesting. This is a prepaid phone. It costs about $100. And what Free lets you do is use Skype to Skype on its network if you're a prepaid customer for free. And the reason why they do that is they're trying to reduce churn of their prepaid customers. They decided it was more cost effective to give free Skype to Skype calls on their network than to try and get new customers online and do the whole cost of acquisition of customers. Really interesting combination of an internet business model and a mobile business model. And then people talk about the trends in Asia and why are the Asians ahead of us? Well, the phone that you see on your left, that Toshiba phone, that launched worldwide, launched in Japan. That's a Snapdragon-based phone. It's got a gigahertz processor in it. And the phone on the other side, it's a typical Docomo phone. It's got all these different features on it. But in the end, I would say that those manufacturers are not leading market anymore. I would say the most excitement in the wireless industry is coming out of what's going on in the United States, in Silicon Valley, in Canada, so North America, I guess I'd say. And anyway, so this is really happening, and it's happening in a global sense. So it's really not just being driven by Asia anymore. And then the other thing that we have over the rest of the world is we have a nationwide mobile TV service. And you might say, oh, maybe I don't care, that's old media. But this is a TV that you carry with you at all times. You get real-time information on it. It's going to have interactivity in the next rev of the software, so you'll actually be able to go back and forth. You'll be able to do things like tweet, and you'll be able to send links to people and so forth. And we'll see how that goes. But I firmly believe that there is a big market for getting things instantly. The fact that you